Good morning, students. Take out your geography book, class 6th. Students, in yesterday's class, I discussed lumbering in Canada and who are lumberjacks. I hope you have read yesterday's topic and you are able to answer me the following questions. My first question, what do you mean by lumbering? Second, discuss the climatic condition required for lumbering activities. Third, who are known as lumberjacks? Which are the different activities involved in the process of lumbering? Today we are going to study lesson number 8, North America, lumbering in Canada. Today's objective is life of lumberjacks. Let's see the new words. Number 1, head feller. A person who selects the trees to be felled. Axeman. A person who cuts the trees marked by the head feller. Sawyer. A person who cuts good quality wood. Limbing. Clearing the trunk of branches. Skidding. Dragging of logs. Hauling. The process of transportation of logs. Sleighs. A cart without wheel. Migrate. Movement from one part to another part of a country. Let's start reading. Life of lumberjacks. Lumberjacks are the people engaged in lumbering activities. The life of the lumberjacks is very hard and risky. They work in life-threatening conditions. Students, as I have already discussed, lumberjacks do lumbering in Canada and their life is very hard and dangerous. During summers, the lumberjacks work as farmers on the farms in southern Canada. During winters, they take up lumbering. They migrate from southern Canada to the taiga forest during the end of the autumn season. Since they have to move from one place to another in search of trees, they live in temporary camps. Most of these camps are located near rivers. These camps consist of various wooden buildings. Lumberjacks work in lumber camps and often live a migratory life. Lumberjacks are exclusively men. They usually live in a bunkhouse or tents. It is easy to cut trees when sap from the trees stops flowing. The felled logs can be easily collected on the frozen grounds and taken to the river banks. Lumberjacks often migrate from South Canada to taiga forest during the end of the autumn season. They move one place to another in search of trees and live in camps. Let's continue. These buildings are number 1, bunkhouse, number 2, cook and wash house, number 3, staff house. Number 4, state house. And number 5, storehouse. Bunkhouse. The bunkhouse includes the dining and the sleeping rooms for the lumberjacks. Lumberjacks, they use bunkhouse as dining house and for sleeping purpose. Let's do reading. Cook and wash house. This house is used for cooking and laundry purpose. Lumberjacks mainly eat bread, beans, pumpkins, potatoes, and drink tea. Estate house. The day-to-day activities of lumber camps are controlled from the estate house. Staff house. Staff house are the sleeping camps of the managers and the other officers. Lumberjacks use the cookhouse for cooking and they usually eat bread, bean, pumpkins, potatoes, and drink tea. Lumberjacks use this house as kitchen. They do not take bath and boil their dirty clothes after 3 to 4 weeks. Managers and officers do rest in a staff house. The state house is used to watch the day-to-day activities of lumber camps. Let's do reading. Storehouse. Clothes and other things of daily use are provided by the storehouse. Besides, there are garages, stables, blacksmith shop, stores for dynamite and machine repair shops for lumberjacks. Most of the workers in the lumber camps get up before sunrise. They leave their camps immediately after breakfast. Each camp has 2 foremen, 70 other men, 7 yokes and 20 teams of horses. Storehouse is used to keep all the essential goods like clothes and other items. Besides this, they have stable, blacksmith's shop, store of dynamites, etc. Let's read further. Each group of lumberjacks has a leader. He is called head feller, who selects the trees to be felled. The axeman cuts a notch into the trees marked by the head feller. Notch means an opening made into a tree trunk. The sawyer then cut above the notch, right through the heart of the trunk. Now, a few strokes with an axe can topple the tree. Topple means to become less steady and fall down. The leader of lumberjacks is known as head feller, who marks the trees to be cut. Then the axeman cuts a notch into the trees after it. The sawyer cuts trees above the notch. After the trees has been felled, the process of limbing is carried out. Limbing includes clearing the trunks of branches and cutting them into logs of various sizes. Now the logs are dragged, which is known as skidding. Limbing is the process of removing branches from a standing or falling tree trunk. The logs are dragged in the process of skidding. Let's continue reading. This involves the raising of one end of the log and dragging it along the ground. Trucks and cable skidders are used in this process. The process of transportation of logs is known as hauling. Trucks and cable skidder are used to drag and transport the logs. Hauling means to pull something with lot of efforts. Let's continue reading. The logs are now piled on sledges or huge trucks, which take them to the banking ground from where the logs are sent to the sawmills or pulp mills. At the sawmills, the logs are sliced into beams, planks, and boards. The lumber is then cut to standard length, sorted, sagged, and left to dry. Boards may also be treated with chemical to prevent decay. Decay means to become bad or slowly destroyed. Some lumbers may be sold rough, whereas some are planed to create a smooth surface. In this process, logs are piled and carried by sledges and trucks. Trucks are used to carry logs to the banking ground from which they are further sent to the sawmills or pulp mills. At sawmills, logs are cut into long, flat, thin pieces and boards. Lumber is then cut, arranged, piled, and left so that it may dry. Chemical is sprayed on these boards to prevent it from being destroyed. After that, some lumber is sold roughly and some are planed to create a flat surface. With this, we are completing today's lecture. Your homework to do these questions on fair copy and learn terms. Have a nice time. Thank you.